everyone. Good afternoon. I'm ZheChen. I'm a PhD student at University of Toronto, and today my topic is reimagining curriculum through collaboration, language-friendly school at sites of pedagogical innovation. So before I started the talk about my research, this is the background of my research project. It's based in another project named Language Friendly School. And it's a global network that including schools that embrace and value all the languages spoken by their students. Currently, the QR code leads to the website. You can also Google it. It'll appear. So currently, we have 70 schools in the network in all over the world. And the reason why there needs to be a language-friendly school was because that one of the founders, Ellen Hose Campbell, who had a human right background, thought that there needs to be the language orientation needs to change to language as a right from language as a problem. And my supervisor, Dr. Emmanuel Pichon, thinks that the orientation needs to be transited to language as a resource. So in language-friendly school, we think that all children should have access to the language-friendly learning environment, and no child should be punished for using their mother tongue and home languages at school. The basic principle of language-friendly school is first and foremost inclusive. And because it's a global network, it's cutting across social, economic, cultural, linguistic, and geographic barriers. And one important part of the principle is that the whole project is bottom up. And in my research, there will be some examples of it. And it's also sustainable, meaning it's going to change the school cultures in the whole school. And the minimum requirement to participate as a language-friendly school is just the schools that sign a document that they promise not to prohibit, discourage, or punish home language use from students or parents. And they do not allow bullying or exclusion of languages, dialects, or accent in their schools. And every school creates their language-friendly plan at least for 2 years, and then there needs to be a language-friendly school coordinator. Once they join as one of the language-friendly schools, we offer at least 2 times progress meetings for each school, and there will be network meetings each season, and every 2 years there are language-friendly conferences. So that's the background of this research. And in my study, the research question is that first, in what ways do teachers engage in the development of innovative pedagogical practices within their schools? And the second is, how do teachers perceive agency through their involvement in multilingual practice? And in this study, we used 3 theoretical framework. The first one is functional multilingual model. Basically means let the languages function. So it's a new pedagogical approach that exploits children's plurilingual repertoires as didactic capital for learning. And the first language may serve as a stepping stones to the acquisition of the second language and the learning of new content. And the second model we use is ecological agency. And one aspect of it is iterational, projective, and practical evaluative, which means that the scholars suggest the achievement of agency should be understood as configuration of influences from the past, orientations towards the future, and engagement with the present. So it's not fixed, but what people do in their social practice. And the third framework we use is consequential validity from Dr. Jim Cummins. So traditionally, the discussion of validity in education focus on technical criteria, assessment or curriculum that accurately measure what it intends to. But Dr. Cummins argued that this is not enough. So consequential validity evaluates not just what we teach, but how it shapes who students believe they are and who they think they can become. And the research design of the study is qualitative. The data we use are 13 semi-structured audio recorded and transcribed meetings with 7 educators and school leaders within the language friendly network. And the analysis we use is hybrid thematic analysis using NVivo software. The coding strategy that we use as hybrid means is initially it's open coding that reviewed the emergent patterns and later integrated with theoretical lenses. And the codings we have are organized into 6 deep families for each research questions, means 12 parent nodes in total with more than 30 sub-themes. And all the themes reflect teacher talk about collaboration, constraints, practices, and transformation. This is one of the coding examples for research question 1 that focus on teachers' engagement in pedagogical innovation. So as you could see, the parent note here is curriculum co-construction, and the sub-theme includes collaborative design, adaptation of curriculum, integration of languages, cross-subject innovation. This is only part of the coding that I can put in the slides, but it actually includes more than that. So here are some of the results that we have for the coding part. So for research question 1, we have 89 codings in total for the section that I just showed in the last slide. We have 16 coding in total. So as you could see, one of some of the example here, I should have put more pictures for this, but I can explain for each. So for like this one, collaborative design, so this teacher said we came together as a school community to create a charter of language rights and responsibility. So they in their schools, the whole school created their own charter of language rights and responsibility, and they put it as like small signs in the hallway and in the classrooms. And some teachers mentioned that they adapted the curriculum. For example, this teacher was a history teacher, and she adapted one of her past teaching activities into a question that's created for different cultural backgrounds because her students have different immigration background. So she adapted the questions in the class. And we have examples of integration of languages. This is actually a lot. Almost every teacher mentioned that. So she said, when I say support language development, I'm not saying we support only the school languages, we support home language development. This is very common for teachers in language-friendly schools. And we have teachers mention that they have cross-subject innovation. For example, this one, she said they would then teach the culture, the story, the math, the languages. And for research question two, the example I have here is because the question two focus on teachers' perception of agency, and the example I'm using here focus on collective agency. I think that's really interesting in this global network. So the part here is relational and collective agency. In this part, we could see how teachers offer peer support and how they establish solidarity. We could see how teachers negotiate differences, different perspectives, and how they think making language-friendly school and a language-friendly environment for their students is a shared responsibility. So for research question two, we have 71 codings in total. And for this specific section, we have 21 codings. And the example we could see at negotiating differences here is from a teacher. So initially, after they joined Language Friendly School Network, some of the students actually don't want the school to be language friendly because they thought this could reduce their time to learn English, and which is not good for their English development. So some of the teachers voluntarily negotiate with the students and explain how it is a good move for their language development. And we could see peer support and solidarity at, like this teacher said here. I've connected with a bunch of elementary schools, getting my students in the secondary to record videos. So they're having this language ambassador program at their school. Basically, it's that when there are small kids coming to the schools with not very fluent English proficiency, there some students that have the same language background can help this student. But in these schools, they don't have enough students to help the newcomer students. So this teacher connected with other schools to help their students. And what I really like here is that how teachers think creating this language-friendly environment is their shared responsibility. As you could see here, two teachers mentioned that we both really believe in our hearts that it is our job to make those changes happen for students. They came from the same school. And there's another teacher said there's no way that we can foster opportunities, that we can build bridges without sharing the responsibility. So because this project is only in progress. We only finished most of the codings for now, and this is what I can show for this presentation. But as we showed in the codings, that we can already see that teachers frame the curriculum as co-constructed. They exert their agency to create more multilingual practices. They adapt the curriculum, and the self-concept really shifted from only the implementers to co-authors of the curriculum. And we can also see that how teachers help each other in the network. So its agency is definitely strengthened through this collective practices. And the next step for our study is to finish the analysis. And this is what I prepared for today's presentation. And these are the references I use in the presentation. And thank you for listening.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Please feel free if you have any comments, suggestions, or any questions about the project. And here's my contact